The writer Bunin said that there are three things that make a person happy: love, an interesting job, and the opportunity to travel. And we absolutely agree with him. The opportunity to travel to 3 countries along the Great Silk Road is especially valuable. We asked the expedition members what the Silk Road means to them. The Silk Road is the history and culture of Turkic people. The history of ancient times when our ancestors walked along the Silk Road. I experienced this. I think it is memories of the past. The Silk Road is our history. We got similar answers, and this is great. It means that absolutely different people have something in common that unites them. We are continuing our journey. In the last episode, we visited the city of Karakol and the unique gorges of Jati-Oguz and Bas-Kul. In this episode, we will go to the good old lake Issyk-Kul and also visit the fairy tale canyon. Kyrgyzstan surprises once again. Lake Issyk-Kul is the largest lake in Kyrgyzstan. It is located in the northeastern part of the republic between the ranges Kungoy-Alato and Teksay-Alato at the altitude of 1,609 meters above sea level. Hooray! Finally, we're here at your beautiful shores, Lake Issyk-Kul. Lake Issyk-Kul is one of the 30 largest lakes in the world. The length of Issyk-Kul from west to east is 182 kilometers and from south to north 58 kilometers. Lake Issyk-Kul was first mentioned in Chinese annals of the late 2nd century BC, where it is called Zhaghai, which means warm sea. Issyk from Kyrgyz is translated as hot, and the water here does not freeze in winter. Although I can't say that the water here is warm in the summer, but it is invigorating. You are feeling charged for the whole day. Mild winters, heat reserves of the water, salinity of the lake prevent it to become covered with ice. Others explain that Issyk-Kul doesn't freeze because of the presence of a large number of underground hot springs in its vicinity. But despite all these factors, the water in the lake, even at the peak of the swimming season, is pretty cool, only 19 to 20 degrees Celsius. Well, here we are in Issyk-Kul. Let's go swimming. Although, let's not go. It's cold. We arrived at Issyk-Kul in late August, almost at the end of the swimming season, but some members of our expedition with bold spirits were enthusiastic about swimming in cold water. Awesome! In the morning it was still a bit cold, now the sun came out and we decided to swim. Super! And our drivers, resting after swimming on the beach, are able to do amazing staged live reports so that it is noticeable that they are staged. Pure talent. I don't know how much they should have paid me so that I could take a swim in Issyk-Kul Lake right now. But the guys took a swim. How much have you been paid? Nothing at all. Tell him what to say. He himself does not know what to say. He didn't have to say anything. There should have been silence and I would just be like, strange. Let's leave the sunbathers alone on the beach and continue to explore the hot lake. There are many legends associated with the lake. Some of them are about the great conqueror Tamerlane. It is known that Tamerlane was on the shores of Issyk-Kul at least 3 times, in 1376, 1389 and 1392. It is said that people who live nearby Issyk-Kul are very freedom-loving and witty people. Tamerlane came here 3 times with his army and could not conquer them, and all because every time he came here, they migrated and then returned. It was quite a witty, good tactic. Tamerlane himself was no less witty and decided to use the stones in the vicinity of Issyk-Kul as a calculator. Wanting to find out before the campaign how many soldiers he had in the army, he ordered each soldier to take a stone and lay a mound of them. Returning back, the surviving soldiers took away the stone, so the stones left to lie became monuments to the fallen soldiers. The mound made of these stones is called the Tamerlane Mound. It is located 50 kilometers from Issyk-Kul. But scientists do not believe in legends. According to historians, the Tamerlane Mound and a large number of small mounds near it belong to a much earlier period, when Saka and Usun tribes lived in this area. In total, there are 257 mounds. Altogether, they form the mound complex of Santash. The main burial has a relatively flat surface with a funnel in the center. Most likely, these are traces of a predatory raid. Local residents use stones for construction needs. The complex of mounds carries great historical value and also attracts travelers who like to visit unusual places. Let's leave the stones and move on to something more vibrant. The vegetation off the coast of Issyk-Kul is rather poor, mostly similar to the semi-desert, but there is still some vegetation there. Mostly near the lake, there is buckthorn. If you ask me, are there anything from flora and fauna here, Aziza, who knows everything, I'll tell you that buckthorn always grows near the shores of the lake, from which the locals make jam, pastel, tea and all kinds of juices. And I personally really like its taste. Buckthorn is not only tasty but also a very nutritious berry, and the production of anything from buckthorn is always waste-free. Aziza has already mentioned some of the sweet tooth products made of buckthorn for the winter, plus the leaves are used as tea to strengthen the immune system. Keratin released from buckthorn peel is suitable for the confectionery industry. From the pulp of berries you can make oil for the treatment of stomach ulcers. Perfumery oil is prepared from seeds. In Soviet times, laboratories that worked in space industry produced such biological supplements as Hyprex and Hipkos, based on buckthorn, which were used not only by astronauts but also by athletes participating in the Olympics 1980. These drugs positively affected adaptation and resistance to stressful situations. Why not try it, right? Only I could never understand how they clean and collect it. There are huge thorns. It's a bit sour, but I like the pastille more. In addition to sea buckthorn, vegetation is represented mainly by mountain forests like Schrenker spruce. Spruce forests are common on the northern slopes of the mountain bordering Lake Issyk-Kul. At the altitude of over 2,500 meters, there are mountain subalpine and alpine meadows. However, we noticed another plant near the coast. Here on this bush we have barberry growing, as the cameraman told me. But I think he wants to take revenge on me, so I won't eat them. And you don't eat berries that you don't know. We did not want to lose the host of the program in the full swing of the expedition and therefore decided not to insist. It is better to immerse yourself in a pleasant nostalgia that comes over every Almaty resident once they arrive in Issyk-Kul. It seems to me that almost every Kazakhstan citizen traveled to Issyk-Kul at least once, and he is definitely familiar with the mugs, yellow cherries or boiled corn that people love to sell here on the beaches. And now we are on the south side of the lake, which is not so inhabited, but tourists, and this virgin beauty is incredible. The northern coast of Issyk-Kul has been developing since the Soviet era, and the southern one started to develop only since independence, so the south part of the lake is still less crowded. This is a big plus for introverts who do not like big crowds of people. The most visited place on the southern coast of Issyk-Kul is considered to be Kaji-Sai and Tamga. On the south coast, there are much fewer recreational centers and mini hotels. The beaches of the southern coast are more rocky, but the purity and transparency of the water are higher than in the northern coast, and nature is more diverse. I was 14, 16 and 18 years old. Every 2 years we went with friends to Issyk-Kul. We vacationed there because, well, it took us only 4 hours to go abroad, and it was attractive every time. I walked here 3 times until 2010. It is a unique lake with unique places around.
Уникальное озеро, уникальные места.
From Almaty to Lake Issyk-Kul there was a simple route through the mountains. This route was extremely popular among tourists. The distance from Almaty to Issyk-Kul along beautiful mountain trails was only 85 kilometers and it took 2 to 3 days. The ban on crossing the borders of Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan came into force in 2009. From now on, the border can only be crossed in designated places. This circumstance greatly affected travelers and had a negative impact on the development of the Tian Shan hiking. First of all, this is an awesome track. You had a good walk. Second of all, your goal is to get to the lake. You took a swim and had a rest, sunbathed, then you packed your backpack and went back through the mountains home or took a bus. It was great when this route was open. Therefore, our beloved state, please open this track for us and we will be happy to travel to our beloved Issyk-Kul. And if you are not a fan of long walks, then there is a great alternative at your service. You can fly here over the mountains in 30 minutes. Don't even think about it. Just come to Issyk-Kul. It is very beautiful here. There is a small village nearby, there is an airport, you can get here very comfortably. Therefore, go ahead and see this beauty. Aziza is talking about the Issyk-Kul International Airport, which is located 5 kilometers from the village of Tamchi on the northern shore of the lake. In 2016, the airport was reconstructed, the runway was lengthened, new light signaling equipment was installed. The airport operates around the clock and receives an average of about 11,000 passengers a year. We spent the night near the coast, woke up in a great mood. Aziza suddenly remembered that she had not yet taught our beloved viewers to assemble a tent. Such a skill will definitely be useful while traveling. Hello everyone, I'm a hiking guru, Aziza Aybadulina, and now I will show you how to put together a tent in 5 minutes. Come along! So we start here with this thing. So what do you need for this? You need a tent and hardware, of course. Well, let's get to work.
Работаем, да?
Well, I think this work is not intended for women. Therefore, I will now ask help from Nurjan. Nurjan, please help. Sure, you couldn't do it? I couldn't. To put it mildly, you couldn't.
Мягко говоря, не получается.
Now Nurjan will show us a masterclass. How long does it take to put together a tent? Not too long. About 5 minutes at most.
Я явно что-то делала не так.
I obviously did something wrong, and you need to make one long stick from these little sticks. So this is a big tent. How many people can fit in such a tent? About 2 to 3 people depending on their frame. It's not that difficult to assemble the tent. I think you will assemble it fast after a few tries. I will help you. Sure. Men will always help. I'm sorry. I need to insert it through all of them. Yes, that's right. What is it? This upper part is the second. It protects from the rain. I thought that it is a case I tried to put up. I think I'm helping you a lot. You couldn't do it without me, never. Please hold it here. Okay, I'm holding it. I have an important task. We are assembling it together. Yes, it's very sweet. I will pay my contribution too. This was a tent assembling guru Aziza Aybadulina and her apprentice Nurjan. Stay with us. Everyone had breakfast, had a swim and was ready to continue the journey. We don't want to leave the shores of Issyk-Kul, but we must. Stay tuned for our travels through hashtag across Central Asia. The Fairy Tale Canyon is a small gorge on the southern coast of Issyk-Kul, famous for its red clay rocks. The canyon is located about 120 kilometers from Balikchi, near the village of Tosor. The person who coined the phrase, "Did you think you got into a fairy tale?" I think simply does not know that the fairy tale really exists. And now we are just in this place. It is called no more no less than Fairy Tale. See how beautiful it is here, and I can say that your entire imagination is played out right here. We rode here and saw an elephant, a rhinoceros, and you would not believe what you can see here. I'll go and look for something else. Soil erosion lasting thousands of years has done its job. A variety of bizarre figures of stone and clay rise in the canyon. Canyon Fairy Tale is composed of multicolored clays, minerals and rocks which add picturesqueness to this place. Some of the natural sculptures in the canyon have their own names. The most recognizable is the Wall of China, very reminiscent of the famous architectural monument of China. It is worth adding that in winter there is almost no snow and therefore you can see the fairy tale in all its glory at any time of the year. The canyon is located very close to the road and the shore of the lake, and therefore it is a great option for a vacation or a picnic. It's not enough time for us to have a picnic, but to take a cool photo for the photo section during the break is sacred, especially when you have the military attributes and clothes of the Kyrgyz at your disposal. Repeat the photo, put the hashtag across Central Asia, and with some luck, win prizes. When you arrive at the fairy tale, do not forget to bring cash. Here at the souvenir shop, you can find suitable presents for relatives and friends. It would seem that there is nothing here, but I will still find a cool outfit. They say that girls fought in this outfit, but I won't make assumptions and better ask an expert. Hello, you are in Fairy Tale Canyon. In early times, our young men and women, warriors, wore such outfits. This is purely military outfit for the soldiers of that time. Bolotbek told us about a Kyrgyz warrior girl whose name was Janil Mirza, who according to the epic lived in the 16th, 17th centuries. female warrior, fully devoted her life to protecting the honor and dignity of the Kyrgyz people from the Jungarian invaders. She levied taxes on caravans passing through her lands and distributed money to the needy. Janil Mirza was so cool that she went out to fights even with men who wished to marry her for force, and won over them. That's what they were like. Girls of the steppe, brave and courageous. I am ready for family quarrels. In Kyrgyzstan, we were pleasantly surprised by souvenirs. They are of high quality, handmade, and often made of natural materials. What other interesting things do you have? This is a little creativity. In the village Bokonbaeva, there are craftsmen who make such slippers. They are made of felt. I have one pair. These are very warm slippers. Yes, they are very comfortable, both male and female. Yes, we wear them. If you are a tourist and desire some exotics, then you must visit Bokonbaeva village. The picturesque village on the southern shore of Lake Issyk-Kul is the center of ecological tourism in Kyrgyzstan. Hundreds of tourists eager to experience unity with nature, simple rural life and regional Kyrgyz traditions come here from all over the world. In Bokonbaeva village, you can watch how carpets and souvenirs are made of felt, see a variety of national equestrian competitions and games in which riders demonstrate their strength and dexterity, participate in masterclasses in preparing national dishes, and listen to performances by local musicians. By the way, as for music, Bolodbek's sharp assortment included national Kyrgyz shepherd's whistles, chopo-cho. And what's that? I can offer some musical pipes. It's closer to my heart. I don't like to fight, but I like art. Give it to me. And this is the bell. This is a school bell. I'll probably do better with that. For the first call or last call at school. It sounds good. It's made of clay. This is natural clay. An educational moment from across Central Asia. Chopo-cho is a Kyrgyz folk wind instrument. It has a soft and deep timbre. It is not difficult to play it, so even children learn some short melodies. It is made this way. A red or a white clay is taken, the kiln for firing ceramics is heated to the temperature of 1000 degrees, the workpiece blanks are laid there, and the magic begins. Previously, chopo-cho had from 3 to 6 holes and was of a round or oval shape. Now an elongated shape with 8 or more holes is used. It is able to play all musical notes. Aziza wasn't successful with notes, but she's a great host. In any case, she was, until she started to giggle. When we were traveling here, I immediately noticed this unusual plant. It turns out it is called ephedra. And how to say it properly. This plant looks very beautiful, and it can be called beneficial. Not for everyone. It makes you giggle. Here everyone knows about it. So come. Ephedra loves the sun. It is not without reason that it settled on the meager sandy soils of the Kenyan fairy tale, where moisture does not stay for long. The bright fruits of ephedra are called cone berries. They are edible. People make jam from them. Ephedra is widely used in traditional Chinese medicine, for example, to treat asthma, hay fever, and the common cold. Ephedra juice mixed with milk has been used by the Aryan people. It was called haoma since ancient times. If a warrior drank haoma, his strength and courage increased and the dream receded. We would like to take this haoma on the road. So many interesting things. It's even a shame to waste time on sleep. Our episode is coming to an end. Today we try to show you Issyk-Kul from a new, unknown side. We visited the south coast, enjoyed buckthorn, rested away from crowds, learned how to put together a tent. In this issue, Aziza felt like a brave warrior, and now you know what souvenirs you need to bring with you from Kyrgyzstan. We hope that the fabulous atmosphere of the canyon will stay with you for a long time. Stay Stay with us. The journey through Central Asia continues.